Welcome to Everything Weapons with David Cooper and Dalen Savage on 1510 WLAC. From buying a gun, ammo, and gun safety, David and Dalen can point you in the right direction by calling 615-737-WLAC or 1-800-688-WLAC. Now, here they are, the experts behind Everything Weapons. Everything Weapons. David Cooper and Dalen Savage.
Good morning, everybody in Nashville. Thank you for joining us today. We have a fantastic guest. We are unbelievably excited to have nothing more than CZ USA and Dan Wesson. We have a special guest, Dave Miller, who is in their shotgun arena. He is also, if I'm correct, Dalen, tell me what you know.
Well, I'm just really interested in what's going to take place, Dave, on May 16th.
You want to tell us about that, Dave?
Yes. Thanks for having me, guys. I appreciate the opportunity to talk to you. And you hear me okay?
Yes, sir.
All right. So May 16th is a big day. This has transpired over, I've been working on this, or we have been working on this project. I think my very first email to the Guinness Book of Records was May 13th, 2014, when we started working out the details on how this is going to go down. But what it is we are setting a new world record for the most clay target shot in 1 hour. Okay.
So how many targets do you have to hit in 1 hour?
Well, Guinness set the bar at 3,000 targets in an hour. Now, keep in mind, there's 3,600 seconds within an hour.
Well, I was just wondering, because a shotgun doesn't hold 3,000 rounds, how are you going to pull this off?
That's right. Well, great question. I'm using 30 CZ 912s and CZ 712s. I have 20 712s and 10 912s, total of 30 guns. And each gun has been outfitted with Nordic components magazine extensions. So each one of my shotguns actually holds 16 shells.
Wow.
And I have 30 of them. Therefore, I have right at 25 gun handlers that work in unison to bring me guns, hand them to my guys. It's a chain reaction type thing. There's a lot of people involved, but all these fellows and women load the guns along a table full of ammo, hand it to my right-hand man, who happens to be our Grandmaster pistol shooter, Matt Hopkins, and he charges the gun and sets it in a rack right beside me. Then I pick it up from there, fire it. I'm shooting all these rounds from the hip and breaking targets as they go away from me. I drop the gun on a padded surface, and it's quickly snatched up and returned to the beginning of the load line. So it goes like that for an hour.
That's pretty amazing, and I hope you guys are taping this, because, I mean, we absolutely are going to be wanting to watch that.
Yeah.
Absolutely, yeah. It's going to be actually going to have a special episode on the Sportsman's Channel just about the whole program. What this really is, mainly, it's not about shooting targets. It's about raising some money for the Pheasants Forever's No Child Left Indoors charity endowment account.
Yeah, they just came in and saw us the other day.
Oh, is that right?
Yeah, absolutely.
Very good. Yeah, it's great. They got an excellent program. This whole endeavor is about getting kids outside, teaching them how to shoot, teaching them how to be ethical gun owners and hunters, conservationists.
Yeah, we're working with several different groups about bringing them on air and having like 3 different 20-minute segments. And Pheasants Forever is one of those groups, because they're going to be taking my daughter out probably with a 20 gauge or a 410 and helping train her on how to shoot.
That's it. That's the program right there.
Yeah, and my daughter's 8 years old, so I mean it's perfect.
Mm-hmm.
It is. I love it.
Yeah, so a couple things I wanted to get into, and we haven't even told you about this yet, but 2 days ago we found out that we're going to be switching to Saturday nights, and our show's going to be on at 9 o'clock, and we're going to be in 28 states.
Fantastic.
So all the listeners out there, and maybe we can even get CZ to, send out an email. is that we want to get as many people as possible listening to the show. So if you have friends and family through the South, the Midwest, up into where we don't like to call, the Northeast area of the country.
The blue states.
I don't even know if you call them blue states or communist or whatever you want to call them. But, we are going to be all over, and we really want a lot of people to be able to tune in, because I think it's important for the listeners to be able to learn from somebody like yourself, be able to call in and ask questions. So if anybody out there has a question for Dave, please call in at 615-737-WLAC, or that equates to 615-737-9522, so that we think it's important for our customers to learn about the different products, not just from us, not from watching some YouTube channel where they have someone just kind of talking about a product, but someone who works for the company who can say, here's why we made that decision, if a caller calls in and asks a question, so that we understand what's happening from the inside out, and we can better relate to our customer, and the customer doesn't have to walk into our store. They can just tune into 1510 and they get to talk with Dave Miller about CZ shotguns, about CZ handguns, things like the 75B or the Rami, and even get into some of the Dan Wesson products.
Absolutely.
So, I know this is only an hour, so maybe what we should do potentially is even break the show into segments, or if there's so much to talk about just in shotguns, we can have you back to talk about, the CZ handgun line, and you can come back another time and talk about Dan Wesson. I'm going to leave it up to you and how you want to move forward. But we sell some of the CZ shotguns, and I've had a great experience with them. I think they're a fantastic gun.
Yeah, they are.
If we could talk about, because, I think they should be selling at a much higher price point for the quality of weapon that they are. Mm-hmm. So I'd like to get into, tell us about your manufacturing process, what kind of steel you guys use, Cold Hammer Forging's real popular on the AR side of the world. What do you guys do? If you could get into some of that, that'd be great.
Absolutely. I'd love to talk about that. Our factory, we have two factories actually, that build products for CZ USA. Keep in mind, CZ USA is owned and operated by our parent company in Uhersky Broad in the Czech Republic. So we are the United States extension of CZ. The CZUB, or CZ Uhersky Broad, has been building small arms since 1936, and obviously famous for the infamous CZ75B handgun.
I've got that gun, and I absolutely love it.
Yeah,
and we have it as a range rental too.
Is that right?
We have, I think, 5 CZs and a Dan Wesson as range rentals.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, perfect. I always throw this little piece out there, and I just find it fascinating. What the most copied pistol platform in the country is, right? 1911, right?
Yes, sir.
But the second most copied pistol platform is the CZ75B.
Mm-hmm.
So that tells a lot about the ergonomics and the quality of that gun, and just all around.
Dave, how did that come about? Was it just like a patent expiration, or what? 'Cause, there's several different companies, your TriStar, stuff like that make identical copies, but they don't run like the CZ does.
Well, no, they're just a little bit. They're different. Their fit and finish aren't near what ours are,
mm-hmm.
and I believe that is the number one reason why they're not. And that's it's a true testament to the gun and the ingenuity behind it, that people want to make that pistol.
Mm-hmm.
They want that pistol in their line. They want something like it. So, and I've seen some of the other ones, and they're close, but they're no CZ.
No, they're definitely not.
That's right.
I do want to say we also have the CZ Evo, the new Scorpion, as a range rental gun too. So I'd like to take a few minutes before we get into the shotguns, and let's talk about that, because it's a brand new release. What is that gun, and how did that gun come about?
That gun...
you know what, Dave? We are heading into commercial.
Okay.
As soon as we get back, we will talk about the CZ Evo. Stay tuned. Don't go away. Welcome back to Everything Weapons. I almost said firearms today, which was a little different. I'm always going to do that for the rest of my life, I think. Well, if you guys want to talk to Dave and ask any questions about him and what he's doing with breaking this world record, or you want to find out about a CZ product, whether we're talking about it or not, 615-737-9522 or WLAC. So, Dave, talk to us about the Scorpion Evo. Let's hear this. This thing is awesome.
It really is. It's the coolest thing CZ USA has introduced since I can remember. I mean, it is the neatest thing since sliced bread.
Next to the 75, right?
Yeah, that's it. I mean, this thing for $849 is the neatest gun that you could just possibly buy. We have already exceeded our expectations as far as what's going to be sold in the U.S. this year, and the factory has been able to ramp up production and make sure we meet the demands. We estimate to sell close to 10,000 of these things this year, so it's going to be, or more. It's going to be amazing. So
that's great. You guys got to get us a whole bunch of 30-round mags. That's the number one question we get.
That's what everybody wants. There's 10s, 20s, and 30s available. And, the only way to have it is a 30-round magazine, that's for sure.
Yeah, well, you guys should be making it 30, 40, and 50. Forget the 10 and the 20.
30-round is standard capacity.
Exactly.
Absolutely. That's the bottom of it. It goes up from there. That's right.
There's going to be some third-party manufacturer coming out with like 100.
I'm sure that will happen. This gun's going to be popular enough. There'll be enough of them out there that the market will support it. So someone will do that. I would bet on it.
All right, so let's say, what is this gun? What caliber is it? How big is it? How do you shoot it? What kind of additions?
Yeah, keep in mind, this is a pistol. At this point, it's not 922R compliant to be a short-barreled rifle at this point. So it comes as a pistol, although there is plans later to have something, but it's just not there. We're not there yet. But as a pistol, the Scorpion, if any of you may or may not remember the original Scorpion, this gun has nothing but the same name, okay? This is a 9mm sub gun with a 7 3/4 inch barrel. It is just a fantastic in-home protection, fun gun, something you could shoot anywhere. I mean, it is awesome. The neatest thing about it is the fact that it's $849. So, for the money, you just cannot beat it. It's a blowback pistol. This piece it comes with a back attachment for a 2-point harness, which I have never shot one until recently with a 2-point, and that really, really stabilized it. Because it's a big gun, it's a handful. Mm-hmm. Very little recoil, but it's just, it's nice to have that 2-point harness to stabilize it. And you can be really, really accurate with it. Another neat feature is it has adjustable aperture rear sight that just rotates to different size apertures. It's 4 different sizes. So you can be accurate to 50 yards with it if you wanted to. It's pretty amazing.
Dave, what kind of reliability testing did you guys do on this? Because I'll tell you, from our standpoint, we have one on our range program. We're setting a little bit over 2,000 rounds so far. Haven't cleaned it. Still haven't had a malfunction yet.
Yeah, that sounds right. I know the factory, just like their pistols. I visited the factory 2 years ago, and I seen the trigger pull mechanism that it fired the gun. Mechanically drop the hammers. It fits into a device, and it just cycles the gun. And I think they did 2,000 dry fires with the gun just to see if anything would fail or anything, how to test anything as far as how things went warm or reacted to the stress test. And like the CZ75B, it's just 3,000 rounds was nothing. So they tested this gun extensively. I'm not exactly sure how many rounds they fired through it before they created a failure, but I know some of the pistols we're talking 5,000 rounds before they hang up. Mm-hmm. So it's impressive.
Well, I think that's really a testament too to your guys' company, the firearms community, you really do get what you pay for. There's not an easy way out, of it. And when you get into these bigger companies and everything, the research and development that goes behind it, that really helps push the product along and, deliver a great product to the consumer.
That's true. We want to make sure that what we're pushing out the door, at the end of the night, we can sleep and rest well, that it's going to function properly. We're selling a quality product, and that's just the only way to do business. We want to make sure that everything that we at CZ USA bring through the doors and out the doors is going to serve the public well. It's in some cases it could be a life or death situation. When you pull the trigger, it's got to go bang.
Yeah, I mean, I think this is a really good gun, especially for women, for in-home defense. The husband may have an AR or 300 blackout, something like that, and the wife may not feel comfortable with that. And having a 9mm that's nice like that and compact, bigger than a handgun, easy to handle, low recoil, 30-round mags, I think it's great. Put a red dot on it and a little flashlight and off and running. Yeah. Identify that target and take it out.
Totally agree with you. It's a fantastic home defense gun for just that. It's got rails all the way around. You can mount flashlights, red dots, laser, whatever, and it's very easy to handle. Lots of firepower, very easy to control with two hands. Very little recoil, and anybody in the house could control this gun. In tight quarters, it's not a long gun. It's easy to point. It's just fantastic.
And one of the things that I talk about with customers who come into the stores over at Everything Weapons in Brentwood and in Franklin is that if you come through a doorway and you know somebody's in your house, you don't know where that person is. If you have a full-length shotgun, per se, that person may be able to pull that gun out of your hands as you come through a doorway if they're on the other side.
That's right.
And so having a smaller, more compact weapon gives you that control and that ability. If someone tries to grab the gun, they're going to have a much harder time trying to wrestle that gun out of your hands. I don't know, Dalen, what do you think about some of that?
Yeah, I mean, coming from my background, I liked smaller. I like smaller stuff because it's the maneuverability factor. If we were going into a house or something like that, first off, we didn't know what was in the house. It's our first time in there. You may encounter, tight hallways. You never know.
Right. Yeah, that's why we always look at, short barrel rifles, that kind of stuff. So, Dave, I don't want to get too far away from your shotgun background.
Sure.
I think, we have a lot of customers that come in, I want an over and under, or I want a semi-auto, or I want a pump, or I need a home defense shotgun. Why CZ shotguns?
Well, as I was getting ready to say before, until I got off on the CZ75 bit, we have two factories that supply us our shotguns. Both are in the country of Turkey, and we control their what comes in, the design of the gun, the quality of the gun, and how they're made, and the ergonomics of the gun is all under our control. So
you guys have your own staff at the factory?
Yeah, they build. We have exclusivity with our shotgun manufacturers, and they build them to our specifications. Yeah, that's what I do almost daily is work with those guys on I'm ankle deep in it right now for 2016. So
okay,
that's what we do. But
talk about like the steel, the barrels, the triggers, everything that is that gun.
Yes, absolutely. We, they have there's some limitations, but there are, as far as trigger weight and how they're, the shape, the design, the color, the trigger pull, everything. So it's important to make sure that these guns come in exactly the way we want them. So because I tell you what, there's no other market like the American public when it comes to guns in general, but shotguns specifically. It's no different than pistols. It's everybody has their expectations. Guns should be of a certain way, So, and we use them over here in the U.S. We shoot, unlike most countries where they either can't have more than one or have limitations, and and or can't afford the ammunition to shoot. So I've learned that as far as shotgunning goes, we do things a lot different than most countries. So that was one of the hurdles in getting them to build guns the way we want them, the way the United States consumers want them. So
Dave,
we have two factories. One builds our pump shotguns, and one builds our over-unders, side-by-sides, and semi-autos. So two different factories, and we have had great success with all. It's primarily our market is the shotguns inside $1,000. We only have a few guns that exceed that. So as far as we are very good, we have a very good price point. For the money, and that's just one of the reasons why we've been so successful for moms and dads to buy little Susie or little Johnny their first shotgun. It needs to be CZ, so it's reliable and very affordable.
Okay, so I don't know if it's fair to ask about the kind of material that you use in the barrel and what the barrel process is in making the barrel. So
what? That's a great question, and it's something that most folks probably don't know, that our barrels are bored. They come as a solid steel bar, solid steel, and the bore is actually drilled out of that round tube of steel. Okay, then the barrel is to the size. Our 12-gauge bore is 729 to 730, and then the barrel is then chrome lined and outer chromed in different colors. It could be a matte chrome or a shiny chrome, but our barrels are chromed, not blued.
Okay.
But it's unusual to that these barrels are made that way. So the chroming is pretty hard stuff. I've had some guys try to change the color of their gun, try to get that off, and they call me, "What is on you? I cannot remove this chrome." So it's pretty rust resistant.
Gotcha. Well, we're heading into commercial, Dave. Stick with us, and we'll have more CZ after the break.
back to the Everything Weapons Hour. Anybody who wants to call in, has questions for Dave Miller from CZ USA, make sure you get us a call at 615-737-WLAC. Dave, I wanted to keep on the topic of the barrels. You mentioned, the barrel process and stuff that you guys use. Are the barrels the same across the entire spectrum of the shotgun line, or is this only for the higher echelon of guns?
No, they're all built. They're all built with the same process. They are all built with the same process. From the the semi-autos to the Super Scroll 2-barrel set. That's $3,800. So no, they're all built with on the same machines, with the same process. So yeah, we're pretty proud of that. We've also made some new changes with the receivers this year, where everything is being built on a CNC machine. The factory's invested several $1 million in new CNC machines, so the receivers are cut from one block of steel, which helps with a lot of consistency, and there's less. This before our receivers were made with 3 pieces, so now they are truly one component. So it's nice. They're really consistent this way. Nothing can get loose.
So if you had to pick one pump shotgun that you guys make for home defense, what would your favorite CZ pump shotgun be?
That would be the home defense combo, because it offers the home defense, has home defense capabilities with a 20-inch barrel pump gun, 2 3/4, 3-inch chamber. But what's cool is it also comes with a 26-inch vent rib gun. So if we decide we want to go hunt some birds or hunt some turkeys or shoot a little clays, we can do the same thing. We can do it with that gun and just switch the barrels out. You're good to go. So it's just a neat little set, and it just offers a lot.
Now, if we were going to pick, again, let's go through your favorite over-under, your favorite semi-auto, give us the feedback. What would you pick? Which gun is your number one in each of these categories?
As far as the pump gun, it goes. It kind of depends on what you want to do with it, really. But the all-around universal pump gun that would be the top of the list would be the 612 Field. It's a 28-inch pump, wood stock, aluminum receiver, as all of them have, matte chrome finish. It's just very universal, good for upland hunting, backyard clay shooting, whatever you wanted to use it for. As I said before, the home defense has a 18.5-inch cylinder barrel with the 26-inch vent rib option comes with it, so you can use that for multiple things. And we have guns specifically for just depending on what you want to hunt. We have the 612 waterfowl. These are Magnum guns. These are 3.5-inch guns. We have one with a 28-inch with a clad in waterfowl camo. We also have one set up with turkey camo, 3.5-inch with a 26-inch barrel. Each come with appropriate chokes for turkey or upland hunting or waterfowl hunting, whatever you want.
What are those MSRP for?
MSRP on those guns are $389.
$389?
$389 for the 612 Field. Now the turkey Magnum is a little bit more at $429. So it's just incredible value.
Yeah, it definitely is.
Yeah, especially with the barrel and having CNC machined. I mean, the whole component process that you talked about. I mean, it's unbelievable that you can buy such a good gun at such a low price. Are you sure you guys are pricing these things right?
Yeah, they're actually just. I mean, we could probably get more for them, but we don't have to. We don't have to. The newest gun because you remember my background, I'm a target shooter. The newest gun, which is super cool, is for those target shooters who might be listening, is the 612 Trap. Okay, it is a 32-inch ported barrel. Comes with 3 extended choke tubes. It has a target configured stock, which is a Monte Carlo stock, and a full wood forend. It's just a nicely set up. It's a perfect tool for shooting an American trap. I shoot sporting clays all over the country, and they have sanctioned pump events, and I will shoot the 612 trap in these pump events, and it's been fantastic. For $499, you cannot buy a better target gun. It's incredible.
That's fantastic. Now, what about semi-auto? Or that was your semi-auto?
No, that's the pump gun.
That's pump, okay.
Pump. Yep, that's the newest gun for the year in the pump line.
Okay, so now what about semi-auto?
Okay, getting into the semi-autos, obviously the guns I'm using to set this world record are the CZ712 Target and the 912. 912 is our number one selling shotgun. We move more CZ912 semi-autos than any other gun in the whole catalog. So it's wildly popular. Very nice looking shotgun, gas operated shotgun, 2 3/4 or 3-inch shells, and those two are probably the top of my list as far as favorites. You know, they're pretty amazing shotguns for the money.
So, how I got introduced to CZ was the 75B.
Mm-hmm.
So let's talk about some of the different guns in that line. Everything from the Rami on up, and what about those guns? Why that gun? I mean, I like that little Rami, 14 rounds.
Yeah, for the size of that pistol and the amount of capacity you have with that little guy, it just makes sense. That gun is very accurate. It's not too tiny to where you can't actually control it and shoot it. This is a gun that you can put the extended magazine in, shoot some targets with it, practice handling it, you really use it, and then put the shorter flush magazine inside, carry it, and you hardly even know you have it on you. So it makes sense to be efficient with your carry gun, and this is the gun that you can do that with. You can shoot it, you can use it. It's meant to be shot. It's meant to be carried. It's a perfect balance between a concealed carry and a gun that's fun to take to the range and shoot.
So what would be the next gun after the Rami?
It'd be the CZ75 Compact. As far as going from in size, would be the CZ75 Compact, which is identical to the CZ75. It just has a shorter, a little bit less magazine capacity and a little bit shorter barrel.
I own that gun too.
Do you?
Oh yeah, I love CZ. I've had great experience personally with those firearms.
That's good to hear. I'm glad to know that.
So after the 75 Compact, we go
straight to the full frame CZ75. Yep, and that speaks for itself. Those pistols, as we spoke before, have the history and the background of being accurate and ergonomically correct. And there's a wide variety of platforms from the SP01, which is a CZ75 with the rail, to the CZ75 BD with the decocker, stainless, you name it. There's a variety of CZ75s to choose from.
So what do you think about the difference? Would you rather have a safety or a decocker?
I'm a decocker guy all the way.
Why?
Just because I like to operate the pistol and have the option of decocking the pistol from a cock and lock situation. If I'm firing on a target and I shoot 6 rounds and I want to lower the hammer, I can do that real easy into a safe state, holster the gun, and I'm ready to go and pick it up again and go double action on. So I don't have to, release the hammer. I don't have to put my thumb on the hammer. I can just decock it down and I'm good.
All right, Dave, I've got a question for you. I'm sure you've heard probably 1,000,000 times by now. Why does CZ inset their slides into the frame?
Oh, gosh. Lots of reasons.
That's the number one question we get with CZ is, well, it's backwards.
That top slide seems awful low. Why is that?
Well, we'll get to that when we get back from commercial. That's a perfect commercial break, making sure all our listeners stay tuned for that very important answer. We have Dave Miller from CZ. Stay tuned.
Welcome back to the Everything Weapons Hour here on 1510 WLAC. Still talking with Dave Miller from CZ USA. Just a refresh question that we had right before break. Dave, why are the slides backwards? That's what I've had customers actually ask. Well, the slide's backwards.
It's an internal instead of an external.
Yeah.
Well, I tell you what, that helps with a lot of things. Accuracy, but the accuracy is incredible with the CZ75. That's why that SP01 is one of the most winningest USPSA pistols there is. But more importantly, recoil. You're going to get that bore closer to your hand, lower center bore. So the recoil is going to be so much less than others with a higher frame slide, so higher top slide. So it makes a huge difference. When you lower that down a few millimeters, it makes a huge difference in recoil.
Yeah, the customers sit there and they look at it and they say, well, the slide is smaller than on other guns. So is that why? So it's good to have that answer because, when you look at that versus, say, like a Glock slide, right? A Glock slide looks much thicker, fatter, bigger than the CZ slide is much lower down, and it just has a different feel to it.
It does. And once people realize why that is and how smooth it is to operate and then how accurate you are with follow-up shots, consecutive shots, then you're sold.
Mm-hmm.
Someone picks the gun up immediately and tries to run the slide. It's they may think, well, I've got a whole lot to hold on to up here. Well, it takes a little bit. You figure out where your fingers go, and then all of a sudden you don't even notice it. But the benefits outweigh that different grip profile. So it's an easy sell. Once they realize that, it's like, oh God, wow! Once I shoot one, then they're in love. So as you probably see at your range, people shoot one and they just fall in love with them right away.
It's actually
the conversion rate's awesome.
It really is. All right, Dave. What about do you guys offer anything for our polymer lovers?
We do. We have a really, really amazing polymer pistol called the P09. The P07 came out before, but now its big brother called the P09 offers a 19+1 capacity in the 9mm, full-size gun, comes with adjustable back straps so you can adjust the size of the grip, decocker or safety, optional, and again, very accurate gun. For a polymer gun, it is very, especially the 19+1. It's a full-size gun. It's a big gun.
Great home defense weapon.
Great home defense weapon. It's got a rail on the front. So you can put a light, put a laser. Recoil is low. It's in fact, I just recently purchased a flat dark earth version for my girlfriend.
Yeah, that's one of our most popular sellers in the CZ line is the flat dark earth.
I know. It's really, really cool.
So are you a polymer or a steel guy?
I'm a polymer guy. I like that P09. That's aside from the 75, it is my favorite pistol to own and shoot. So.
All right. Now, if we're looking at a few of the other guns in the CZ line, what other handguns or what, we get a question, difference between 75 and 85.
Yeah.
I think that's a good one to go over.
Well, I'll tell you, this is something that, most people, don't realize is all the options that we have within the CZ75 line. The CZ85, the CZ75, the safeties, the cockers, the ambi, the alloy. It's huge. The nice thing about the 85, say like the 85 Combat or 85B, is ambidextrous safety and slide release, which means a lot to people who might be left-handed, who just like that option. Ambidextrous safety and slide release is pretty unique. It's pretty handy for those people that are who need that. The other thing that's nice about it is the fact that, and this is the 85, that It does not. It has an adjustable rear sight where the CZ75B would not have.
Is it the same exact grip?
Yep, same grip.
Okay, so the matte stainless grip is a little different than the blued version grip. So does it have that matte stainless grip?
The matte stainless, yeah. Well, it'll have. I mean, the standard CZ75 grips are the rubber, the rubber grips. Same with the 85. I mean, there's a wide variety of grips, aftermarket grips that you can buy. As we talked before, there's lots of accessories out there for the CZ85 because everybody's trying to copy it. So, and we sell lots of different configurations there too. Our CZ Custom Shop in Phoenix, which we didn't talk about before, is they make a wide variety of aluminum, cocobolo, you name it. They've got all the different kinds of grips you can.
We'll have to go to the CZ Custom Shop and take a look at the different grips that you guys have, and we'll start carrying some of that stuff.
Yeah,
that's excellent to know.
Really neat stuff.
So we don't have a lot of time left. Let's touch on Dan Wesson. How did CZ get involved with Dan Wesson? And then let's talk about the quality of those 1911s.
That's second to none. The CZ USA purchased Dan Wesson in 2005. We have the factory is still in Norwich, New York. Okay, where we have, I think they have more employees up there than we do at CZ USA. I think they're over 40 now, if I remember right.
We got to move him out of communist New York and bring him down to the free Tennessee state.
It was a tough decision. We wanted to keep it there because, backing up a little bit, we had a fire there, and Dan Wesson burnt up. Okay, so they rebuilt, moved to a new building within the same zip code, same everything. And, that was always the talk. Well, it's let's start over. Let's bring it to Kansas City. Well, the reason why we didn't do that is we have so many quality, trained, good, valuable, dedicated employees in New York who've built their life around this business, work hard every day to provide that superior 1911. So it just made sense to keep it there. Why would we do that? So we wanted to keep it there with our employees that could run it and build it to the quality that the Dan Wesson name requires. And so we've expanded. Now the factory up there in Norwich is twice the size. They can produce twice as many guns. And because before we were limited to about 4,000 pieces a year. That was it. Now we can build upwards of 8, 9, 10,000 pieces. So that's great. We can sell every one of them. They are, without a doubt, in my opinion, the very best 1911 you can buy on the market.
Yeah, we've actually really noticed that, Dave. Like when people ask, people tend to ask, they want a production gun, and but they want it fairly cheap. But cheap and production typically don't go well together. When you run into issues with stacking tolerances and stuff like that, you don't notice that on the Dan Wesson line. I mean, you're getting semi-custom quality for production pricing, and I think that's fantastic. Yeah,
you're right, and that's exactly right. And you do get what you pay for. These pistols are held to a very high standard.
So one of my favorites, the Guardian. Mm-hmm. And what are some of the other guns that we've carried in the Dan Wesson line?
Valor.
Yeah, we have a Valor in stock right now.
The Eco, we've had that. We've had that in stock.
That's a great carry gun.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. Wonderful pistol.
What's your favorite? I mean, I really like that Guardian. It fits well in my hand.
You know what? My favorite, I don't know if you guys ever held one of these, is a Specialist. A Dan Wesson Specialist.
We've had one, and they are nice. They really are.
You feel the grips on that thing, you can let go of it and still not drop it.
Yeah, that's true.
They're so aggressive. I've had some people with soft hands grab it and go, "Oh boy, that's rough. I don't know if I can shoot that too much without it eating me up." I was like, "Yeah, you can. You got to toughen up, man."
Yeah. I mean.
But it's amazing. It's and it's got a rail. It's a little different kind of a gun. It's a different kind of a 1911. So it's special. That's why they call it Specialist. So I own one of those. I don't shoot it near enough. Every time I get it out, I love it, and it is. I spend most of my time shooting clay targets, or upland birds. So I'm a shotgun nut. But I do love shooting my Specialist. That is an amazing pistol.
Now, does Dan Wesson do any custom shop like CZ does, or is it just the production
that all
line?
goes back through our Phoenix location. Angus Hobdell runs a first-class operation there in Phoenix, Arizona, and they will work on just about anything CZ.
Okay.
So they've got options for. You can do all kinds of trick stuff with that. It's amazing what he can do with a pistol.
So a customer comes in and they buy one of these off-the-shelf CZs, let's say, right, the Dan Wesson,
Mm-hmm.
and do they go through us or they call the custom shop directly? How do we work with that?
They would go to the custom shop directly. We have certain SKUs that we receive from certain items that we order directly from CZ Custom. In other words, when we get a pistol in the U.S., we then ship it to him. He tricks it out and then sends it back to the U.S. or sends it back to us in Kansas City where we're based, and then we market it, we send it out that way. But anything that you would own that you would want to have adjusted or slicked up, you would just send it to him directly.
That's awesome, Dave.
Yeah, he does a great job.
Well, we're running out of time. Man, we really appreciate you coming on today. We really appreciate CZ USA giving us, the opportunity to talk to you guys, to get it out to the listeners and everything. And
we've got to work a range day.
Yeah, we should.
We need you guys to come out and shoot at our range. We'll advertise it on the radio, and we'll have you guys out. We've done this with other companies. It's wildly successful, and I think it would be a huge, huge winner.
Yep.
Yeah, that would be great. I mean, we've done things like that before, so I think it's a good idea.
All right, what I think we need to do is, Dave, thank you so much. We're coming up, and we got to wrap up our hour here. Thank you so much for coming on.
Well,
everybody, when you come to Everything Weapons, don't forget to check out the CZ line. We have the one store in Brentwood, and we have the shooting range in Franklin where you can shoot a lot of the different CZs. If there's a CZ rental that you think we should have and we don't, tell us and we'll bring it in. Thanks again. We love having you guys on air. And don't forget to tell everybody we'll be in 28 states. We'll see you guys soon. Dalen, I'll see you later.
All right.
Take care.